Let's vibe, let's roll, let's get it. Whoa, shawty showing out, throwing on the dance floor. Fashion killer, huh? You don't give a fuck what a nigga gotta say or a bitch. What?
Hey you guys, it's Naimahrae and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the fam because we stay litty over here. And if you're a returning viewer, hi, how are you guys doing on this very cloudy day? As you guys can tell by the title of this video, I am going to be telling you guys my top 5 reads of 2024, okay? If you follow me on TikTok, you know that I post all my book content on TikTok. I have decided that I'm going to start posting my book reactions on my YouTube shorts. So if you came from TikTok or you're just interested in seeing my book content, it will mostly be in my YouTube shorts. I don't think I'm going to make it a long form thing because really I just want to share my reactions with you guys because I built a nice little community on TikTok and we were talking about them books. So if you want to hear more about books, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned on my YouTube shorts. That's where all of my book content mostly will be. And, you know, I'll throw a little long form video in here every here and there. You know what I'm saying? Every here and there. Hey, Naimah here. I just wanted to let you guys know that this video was definitely recorded before the TikTok ban. And as we all know, TikTok was only gone for all of 12 hours. So I just want to throw that in here because I'm talking about it like it's just not going to be a thing, and it's still a thing. So just so you guys know, but I am going to post book content on my YouTube shorts. That's what I've decided I'm going to do. So I'm going to start working on that. But I just felt like I had to put that disclaimer in here because it sounded real crazy now. Like, but anywho's, I wanted to say that before we got into the video. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into these top 5 books of 2024. Okay, so full transparency, I only got through 10 books in 2024. My goal was 20. I didn't read 20. Towards the end of the year, I kind of fell into a reading slump and I just wasn't feeling the vibes. I just didn't know what genre I wanted to read. I didn't know if I wanted to be a fantasy girly or if I wanted to go back to romance, and it was not making sense. It wasn't doing what it needed to do for me. Number 1 on my top 5 books from last year is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Now, if you are really into books or was heavy on booktok, you probably know what Fourth Wing is. Y'all, that book was so good. It was so good. And by the time this video is up, I'm sure the 3rd part to the series has already came out. But pretty much Fourth Wing is about this girl. Her name is Violet, and it's a fantasy book. For a reference, it's a fantasy book. She's at like this school and her mom's like the head of it, and she wanted to go and be a scribe, which is somebody that's generally like a journalist, just reports on things, but her mom wanted her to be a dragon rider. So her mom sends her to the little school so she could be a dragon rider. Mind you, Violet's very fragile, very weak. It's just like, and her sister's like, oh my gosh, mom, like, do you have a death wish for Violet? Like, what are you doing? So Violet essentially is going through this school. She has a lot of people that already don't like her because her mom is like, I don't think her mom was the head of the school. Her mom was like the head of like their state thing. I don't know, but her mom was up there. You know what I'm saying? Her mom was up there. And she had a lot of people that did not like her because of her mama. So she already had a lot of enemies, but it's pretty much about her just navigating her life through that school, finding a dragon and getting all of it figured out with a little bit of romance in it. It's definitely giving enemies to lovers. Honestly, I don't really know how else to describe Fourth Wing. I think that was a good summary without like giving too much away because the book is kind of long. It's kind of long, but y'all, it's like you're reading a really, really good fantasy movie. Like, it has the perfect amount of action in it, the perfect amount of romance in it, and the right amount of drama just to keep you going. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, that book occupied like the first half of my 2024. Well, that series occupied the first half of my 2024 because number 2 following Fourth Wing, obviously, is Iron Flame, which is the 2nd book in the series. Y'all, I was eating both of these books up. I was eating them up. Iron Flame, essentially, I'm gonna try to describe it without giving away too much because if you didn't read Fourth Wing, you'll be a little lost, but pretty much it follows Violet and the rest of her schooling with the like dragon thing and obviously her enemies to lovers relationship. And it's really interesting. And honestly, if you know, you know. If you haven't read it, I do recommend you go check it out. It was like it wasn't my first fantasy read, but it was like one of my first popular fantasy reads because I just wanted to see what the hype was about. And I will say it's not overhyped. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 recommend. So yeah, go check those out. Those are definitely my top 2 from last year. When I tell you it took up half of my year, it took up half of my year because those books are long. If you want something to keep you occupied, they will keep you occupied, and I cannot wait to read the 3rd book in the series. Okay, moving on to the next book that I have is Lipstick and Camera Clicks. Lipstick and Camera Click. Is it Click or Camera Clicks? I don't remember. Lipsticks and Camera Clicks by DJ Murphy. It's by a Black author, so that was really fun. I actually got this book recommendation from one of the girls that I followed on BookTok. Her name is Rissa's Nook. She has a YouTube channel too, so I'll link it below if you guys want to go check her out. I actually really enjoyed this book. It was very different from the romance books I usually read. This one is kind of like a young adult situation. Like, it's been a minute since I read it, but I can describe it to you guys. So pretty much it's about this girl. She just broke up with her boyfriend or whatever, and she's a makeup artist, and she signs up to pretty much go on this reality show because she just wants to get exposure for her makeup. Like, she's down in a slump. She's like, I'm down bad, you know what, I'ma just like do something random, and she actually get accepted on it. So she goes on the reality show, and of course, you know, reality shows aren't really reality, so it shows that part. But one of the guys that works there is like one of her childhood best friends, and then of course it's like one of those love type reality shows, so they have the bachelor person, and it kind of becomes like a little bit of a love triangle situation, but she has to act like she doesn't know her childhood best friend. But there's just like drama between like each person, and like it just, I don't know how to describe it. It was very different. It was like a good romance book with a nice little twist, and it didn't have like, to me, it didn't have a cliche ending. It kind of like caught me off guard, which was very surprising, because you know, sometimes with these love stories you could predict the ending or whatever, but that's not what this gave. Like, it was good. Like, I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something like romance, a little bit of drama, kind of borderline love triangle. If you're looking for something like that, this is right up your alley. It had the right amount of spice in it, not too much, just a little bit, just a little sprinkle. It was perfect. But yeah, 10 out of 10 recommend this one. It was really good. Definitely good also for beginners. If you're getting into reading, it's a good, like, it'll keep you hooked from beginning to end, I will say that. Number 4 on my list, which might get dropped down to number 5, I don't know, because right now number 5, I'm currently reading it, so I really couldn't place it higher on this list, but I feel like it might deserve the number 4 spot. However, since this book is already finished and it's on this list, I'm gonna tell you guys about it. Number 4 is Never Have I Ever by Stephanie Alves or Alves. I'm not sure how you pronounce your last name. Okay, so this book is like a young adult romance. Like, it's about these two, a guy and a girl. They're in college, like their first year of college, and the girl is just very innocent. She hasn't done anything. She's just very boring, very goody two shoes, very like, I go to school, I come and do what I need to do. I'm privileged, my parents pay for everything type situation. Like, that's her life, right? And then the boy, he's like the bad boy. He's done everything under the sun. He has seen it. He's done it all. Like, it's just corruption, you know what I'm saying? And obviously they're at a party one night and they're playing Never Have I Ever, and he puts all his fingers down, all of them, every single one, and she's like sitting there with all of her fingers up, and she's like, oh, I haven't done anything, and everyone's kind of side-eyeing her like, girl, like, what you be doing? So she goes to this guy. Mind you, she does not know this man. She just heard his name, found out where he lives, and goes to this man and asks her to knock some things off of her list of things that she just wants to do and wants to try. And he's like, at first he's like, I don't know about all that. And then eventually he's like, you know what, fine, like, I'll help you, like, but no sex, pretty much. Like, I'm not helping you with that one. Like, that's the one thing that I will not do. And she's like, okay, that's fine, right? So they start knocking things down her list. And honestly, from the outside looking in, guys, I thought this book was a little basic. I did. I was like, oh, we already know where this is gonna go. Golden girl, bad boy vibe. They're gonna fall in love, yada, yada, right? It wasn't so black and white like that. And that's the part that actually had me intrigued about the book. Honestly, truly, I would recommend it. I think it's pretty good. It has a couple of plot twists in there that you just won't see coming. Definitely sent me for a loop a little bit. And it was good. It was actually really good. So I recommend it if you're like And honestly, also getting into reading, I think it's a good into reading book. It has a good amount of spice in it. It's a little spicy. It's definitely a little spicy. Cause that book, I was sitting there reading it like, oh, okay. I do recommend. Now, do I think it deserves a number 4 spot on this list? It probably would be a number 5 after I finish the book that I'm reading now, but for now, we'll leave it at 4. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to the last book that I have on my list, Elevator Pitch by Evelyn Leigh. So, Elevator Pitch is pretty much about this guy and this girl. They're in their early 30s, and the girl just got out of a bad relationship. Her name is Selah. Her name is Selah, and the guy's name is Grayson. And they live in the same building. They meet on the elevator, and he pretty much like, I think she like runs into him or something, or he gives her a compliment or something, and she's like deep in her like book, like e-reading, like she's just like, oh my gosh. And he was like, well, what are you reading? And she told him, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna come back to you and tell you my thoughts. So that was kind of his like way of like, you know, shooting a shot low key. So like he starts like coming to her for book recommendations. They slowly kind of develop like a friendship, flirtationship situation, because he's just always really flirty with her. But she's just like, she got out of a long-term relationship. She's not looking for anything serious. She's just trying to have some fun, you know what I'm saying? And she's on this dating app, which she then finds out that he owns, but she's on this dating app. She's just trying to find a guy, pretty much get her rocks off, and she just can't find anybody that's worthy of it. And she's just like, okay, like whatever. So Grayson is like hitting on her, and he's like taking interest in the stuff she likes, da da da. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so finally, she's bold enough and proposes this whole plan to him. Like, look, the only reason why I'm going on these dates is because pretty much like I'm just trying to have fun. So are you down? Or are you not down? And then it goes from there. So that's as far as I've gotten so far in the book. And I will say the book is really, really good. I actually really enjoy it. I think it's very realistic. This one, I think, is also by a Black author. If I remember correctly, got this recommendation once again from Mrs. Nook. Like I said, I will leave her link to her YouTube channel down below because I know she's posting book content over there as well. So far, it's really good. I am just making my way slowly through it because right now I'm in a very big reading slump. And this book specifically is like a little bit too relatable to my life at the moment. And I'm just reading some of the stuff like, wow, I know exactly how she feels. So even though I'm not 30, and I don't have a fancy corporate job working like how she's doing, but I feel her pain, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at now with that book. I do honestly think it'll end up moving up on this list. It'll probably move up to number 4 or number 3, depending, because I am really enjoying it. It's just taking me a minute to get through it. So I will report back with my thoughts on my YouTube shorts. So if you guys want to know my thoughts on that, it will definitely be over there. I'm definitely going to start rolling out all of my reactions on YouTube shorts to all the books that I've read since I started posting on TikTok. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, if you're into books, that's where all my reactions will be. Leave a comment. I like to talk about the books. That's why I started posting the reactions on TikTok in the first place. I hope that if you are a part of the booktok community, you guys find this video and you guys subscribe to my channel and just stay tuned and watch my shorts because that's literally where all my reactions will be. I love sharing my thoughts on books, and the whole reason why I do it is because most of the people I know, they don't read or they don't read the same books that I do, and so I don't have anybody to talk to about them. So it's nice to have people that have read the book so we could talk about it in the comments. So please head over to my YouTube shorts, go watch them. I'm gonna start with the Shatter Me series, that's where I started at with my booktok content. So I'm gonna start with those and just start rolling them out at least like once a week, hopefully. So stay tuned. We have a lot of catching up to do because I've talked a lot about books on TikTok. Like I said, if that's something you're interested in, make sure you head over there to watch. I will also I'm gonna try to put everything in a playlist so that way like it's all in one place for everybody. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out some of these books, you know what I'm saying? Most of the books I read, for the most part, I feel like are good for like if you're beginning to get into reading. Out of these 5 that I told you guys, I definitely recommend Never Have I Ever, Lipstick and Camera Clicks. I think those two are definitely really great if you're like trying to get into reading or you're looking for something to read and you just don't know where to start and you want to do like a romance drama situation. Those two are perfect. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media, which is always in the description box down below. And to all my book girlies, I will see you on my YouTube shorts. See you guys in my next video. Bye.
I want a chick that grind on a 9 to 5. Oh, she in them college books trying to get a rise. But tonight, I'm just trying to have a good